author, penciler, inker, art director, Harvey Award winner, and Eisner Award winner, Mr. Joe Staton.
How you doing, sir?
Thank you for coming on for us today.
Okay.
So excited to have you on, right from the Bronze Age, where I was growing up with big comics. I have them here. We have you worked on The Metal Men, the one of yours.
I did.
Action Comics, which you were kind to sign for me at the New York Con this year.
2 issues of Action Comics. Yeah.
Justice Society, where you drew the origin of the Justice Society, didn't you?
We did the origin of the Justice Society.
Yeah, and you also drew the Death of Batman, Earth 2.
Did the Death of Batman? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was major because growing up at that time, they really didn't kill anybody off.
Yeah, it was kind of a shock.
Were you behind that too? The idea of killing them off, or?
That was Paul Levitz was writing the book, and as I recall, the Death of Batman issue was going to be Joe Orlando's last issue as editor, and Paul wanted to do something significant. So killing Batman is, a pretty significant thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's rare because not only did you kill him, but he stayed dead. It wasn't one of those we'll bring him back
this issue and then he comes back a month later things.
yeah, I think he's still dead. Yeah.
Yes.
Up until that, I hate to break it to you.
I think he's still.
So that actually kind of is
He
segue.
put him back under that new 52 stuff.
So I can't tell what's going on there.
Okay, yeah. We couldn't tell what was going on with the new 52 either.
There's a lot that was going on. In general, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, just that he was the first guy to stay. Everyone talks about how when Marvel killed off Captain Marvel and he stayed dead.
Mm-hmm.
That Mr. Staton was part of this thing where Earth 2 Batman died and he stayed dead for a
Yeah,
long.
yeah. It was very much ahead of its time with that because it's like the idea of death now in comics, there's nothing permanent about it. It's always, we joke about it all the time that it's basically just like the next shtick. It's like, all right, when you run out of ideas, when you start running low, the idea is, okay, we have to shock and cajole the audiences, so let's kill somebody off, and then we'll bring them back in a year. This happens with Marvel and with DC. It's like, it's almost like the idea that death is no longer a threat with a lot of modern comics.
And
the joke is, somebody is dead, not over it.
Yeah. So the Batman Earth 2 was actually kind of a unique beast in that he, as you said, stayed dead. So that actually kind of segues to something interesting that I was going to bring up today. When it came to The Walking Dead, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that show at all. Dean, Constantine is throwing already, but yeah. Do you watch that at all?
I have not really been following it, no.
Okay.
But I'm, aware of it.
Well, that show in particular, getting on, you guys chime in whenever you feel the need, because this show is all about the commentary. Something pretty major happened in this last episode. One of the main characters who's been around for 6 seasons, I want to say now, Glenn, he apparently was killed off. And the thing with Walking Dead is characters who die, invariably they're gone. There is no magic means to bring them back. And Dean in particular, who I would say you're a tough critic, to say the least, about the show, you were pretty excited about this. So I'm going to let you take it from there.
I talked to Joe about The Walking Dead when I met him, so he knows what I think about it. But, well, look, they haven't killed off a season 1 character in a long time. They're overdue. When a character runs its course, and he's reached a certain level where he's gone beyond where he first started, they kill him off. The moral compass of the show gets killed off every time another moral compass comes on, Morgan returning. So, and plus, I think it's an insult to the fans if he survives, because he was surrounded by a herd of zombies. Not no weapon. He's cornered. He's in a bad spot. I mean, he's not Batman. He's not going to get out of it. If he does get out of it, I think it's a slap in the face to the fans. It's kind of like, I don't know, killing off a character and bringing him back, wouldn't you say?
And it's interesting that you refer to it that way, because I think, judging from how they pull this off, if he is in fact alive, because there is a chance where we could have a case where it's like it lingers for a few weeks, and then we come to the revelation that no, Glenn is dead as a character. So the idea is, if they do it well, they can only either do it really well or very poorly. So I'm kind of gonna have to stand against Dean on this one. I think they can pull it off. I honestly think they do. Like, it's for me, it's a little bit like taking what could be considered a cliche and spinning it in a way where it's actually creative. It's like they're kind of almost like taking a cue from you in that regard, where it's like, okay, this character very well may be dead. There's the lingering chance that he might come back, but we're just going to operate on the assumption right now that this character is in effect dead, like with Batman. So that's my stance on that one. I don't know. What do you think about all that?
Actually, that brings up a really good question, because Joe, you've worked on, again, like Doom Patrol, Metal Men, Huntress. Like, did you ever get, or should I say, find yourself in a situation where you had to kill off, or a character was they just left it alone that should have been developed more and could have went further? And the second part to that, were there any particular characters that you feel that they shouldn't have been around as long as they have been, that you've worked on?
Oh wow, that's a hard one. Well, I'm doing Dick Tracy now. The strip, and we have characters who've been around for years and years. So every once in a while, we'll kill off a character who's really established for years and years, and sometimes Mike Curtis, the writer, checks in with me if he's going to kill somebody off, and occasionally I've prevailed on him, like not to kill some of Chester Gould's long-established characters, and occasionally we'll feel like it's time somebody can be sacrificed, and we'll have somebody die. Let's see. Measles was a good character who died, and we killed him in a fairly gruesome way.
Right.
So occasionally, but yeah, it's you have to have the option of killing them off sometimes.
I agree. And when you do that, when you kill a character off, it shouldn't just be something that's done on a whim. Like, their death should have impact on the universe, or whatever world that you create. As a writer myself, I'm like, okay, there's a rule where no one should ever come back for any reason. If you're dead, that's the end. If that character is going to be in the story, they should have significance, and them dying just to come back, I feel cheapens the experience of that character.
Unless, of course, whether the character is dead at the moment gets to be part of part of the mythos. I mean, how many times has the Red Skull been dead?
Jeez, how much time do you have?
Yeah. So it's sometimes it's just part of the joke. Is who's dead now?
Yeah.
But in general, killing a character should have some impact. It should mean something.
Right. And using that as a little boost point for the next topic I was going to bring up today, Dean, Seven, Mr. Staton, have you guys heard the news about Marvel? How they are basically, the next Thor film is going to be in effect a team-up crossover film between Thor and the Incredible Hulk, which is Mark Ruffalo's iteration. So the theme of this one is going to be Ragnarok, which, as those who are comic savvy, which I'm assuming is most, if not all of us, Ragnarok is in effect the apocalypse in Norse mythology, which means, hence for the movie at least, that this is going to be the one where a lot of characters are effectively killed off. Possibly even Thor as well. We know that Chris Hemsworth has like a few more movies under his belt with Marvel, with his contract, but after that, we don't know. So, yeah, you guys any thoughts on that one? Dean, I know you're kind of at odds with the whole banner of Marvel right now in general, and Seven, you're kind of playing the field in the middle as, Switzerland. So, you guys perspectives, thoughts, comments, let's go.
Well, I think they're stretching it too much.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, they're trying to get every penny out of, you know, the different characters. I think it's better they just let them rock a little bit, maybe wait a year or two, then do another Avengers. I don't really think all the little mini films are necessary.
Mm.
Well, really, I don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
I just better not kill off the Hulk. He wouldn't like that. So
How do you kill the Hulk? That's the bigger question.
Let Batman handle it. You worked on Doom Patrol, Metal Man, Plastic Man.
Mhm.
We mentioned on our show several times, these properties are the properties we want to see made into film.
Doom Patrol, especially on my end.
Which one would you like to see out of anything you were on?
well, it certainly would be time to do Plastic Man with all the CGI. It would be time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I guess that's an obvious one, but the Doom Patrol would be good. Yeah. Either version, either the original Doom Patrol or the revised version.
Nice.
With Radioactive Woman and everybody. So
Maybe we could throw some E-Man in there as well.
Hey, yeah, we could try
Doing Plastic Man might as well.
E-Man and Nova, you know, and hey, Kenny Q, the dancing koala, he could be CGI.
Awesome.
Look, your journey as a cartoonist. Do you own the copyright on them?
On E-Man?
Yeah.
It's kind of shared with the remains of First Comics because Nick and I can do new material and they control the original material. So, but it's enough that we could get something going. Yeah.
Nice.
So, are you looking into doing something with E-Man and Novocaine and?
we always are. And at one point, it was even. We actually had Roger Corman was looking at doing an E-Man movie,
Wow.
Hey.
but that never happened.
Oh.
So I think E-Man would make a very good movie.
I think that'd be fun.
Okay. So that would be your first choice then.
E-Man, yeah.
E-Man or Doom Patrol? I don't know, man. Doom Patrol, if you really want to talk like a potentially great adaptation, just the tone of